on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk, presented by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Sooner Sports Talk is also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and by Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. This is Sooner Sports Talk. Now, here's Chris Plank and Teddy Lehman.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back inside Rudy's. Say hello to Teddy Lehman, Butkus Bednarik Award winner. Just got done.
Appreciate the intro,
hosting a radio show. I never introduce Teddy. I do a terrible job. Because we got Ben Arbuckle here with us, Sooner offensive coordinator. Welcome in, Coach. You said you're a vet of this, though. You've done this before, right?
I did it back in the spring, I believe.
All right. All right, Coach Venable's busy tonight, so you slide in.
That's right.
Thank you. Couple of weeks. Congratulations, man. What a finish to this season. What a run. Let's just talk in general about Red November and how this team, after Ole Miss, just really found another kind of level. What'd you see?
I think the biggest thing that I saw was just a collective group of young men, our players, who they just made a decision. They made a decision together that they were forcibly going to go take what they want. You know, they didn't care how it looked. Their ultimate goal was go win, play for each other, and they attacked every single week and every single game with that mindset. And so it was really cool to be a part of, but it was really cool to also sit back and watch that group of kids, that group of players that we have, just go attack that common goal. And, couldn't be more proud of them.
It's a crazy 4-game run. And I think the best part was some of the atmospheres we got to witness.
Yeah.
Obviously, the games at home were amazing, but how about going on the road to Tennessee and Alabama? How fun was that?
Yeah, I mean, as a college football enthusiast, I was like, man, this is incredible. Just kind of walking in there during pregame, and then, everybody has their, whether it be their fourth quarter thing or the stuff that they're really famous for, their fight songs or something. Just being able to be there in those moments, in those environments was really awesome. But again, I just take it back to the players, just seeing them walk into those arenas and, almost like gladiators, just walk out there and ready to go. I mean, with no fear in their eyes and no flinch at all. It was really cool, but what an unbelievable experience for myself, for the coaches, for the team. And it was a lot of fun going in there and winning those games, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the best part was hearing how quiet it was whenever the game was over. There's these loud 100,000 people there, and then in the end you can hear OU celebrating because they won.
Yeah.
Man, let's just talk about Saturday. The explosive play returns in a big way. Gabe was gushing on the call to Deion Burks. LSU goes 0 blitz, and you got the wide receiver screen to perfection. Take us through that.
Yeah. So, it gotten to that point in the game where you kind of got a feel for how the defense coordinator was going to be calling in. Whenever we got into like second and long, he'd gotten to where he was bringing pressure. And playing some form of man coverage behind it, but bringing pressure and trying to make us go win down the field. Well, okay, we got to second and long, and I said, all right, guys, we're going to call the screen right here. And he brought cover 0, and I was like, oh, my gosh, we got it. and just seeing it, go from practice, transition to the game, just the execution, the O-lineman getting out. What an unbelievable block by Jaron Kanik. I mean, he had the one block to get out there on the corner, and he got out there, sealed him off beautifully, and Deion did just such a great job of following the offensive lineman, and it's a pretty cool feeling. It didn't happen to me a lot in my playing career. I wasn't the greatest player ever, but it is a cool feeling whenever you're running and there's just nobody there in between you and the end zone, and that was really cool. That was a special moment for Deion, and it really kind of got things jump-started, and it was fun. That place erupted.
Yeah,
that place was loud.
I imagine for Burks, it's a pretty good sign whenever there's an offensive tackle just running down the hash with no one in front of him to block. It was pretty crazy, and I was just watching that clip. It's the first time I noticed that the snap was a little bit high for Mateer, and he still went through his process, put a good ball out there. But how about Fabechi sliding over and playing center? How crazy is that?
What a warrior. It was one of those deals where whenever he showed up, on Sunday, it was like, hey, man, you might have to play some center this week. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're not sure. And then Monday, we're like, hey, man, you're playing center. And the dude just attacked it. I mean, everything from unbelievable snaps to great communication throughout the week, getting everybody on the same page. What a leader for our team, what a leader for our offense, an unbelievable kid who plays the game the right way. And so I had zero worries with him at center. I said, if there's one human that I really, really trust, it's Fabechi. And he went out there and he played awesome.
How have you seen this offensive line develop and persevere? I think Coach Venables was saying it afterwards, like 15 different combinations. You guys have probably more than that you guys have had to go through. But Coach Beanbo's a wizard. He's done a great job. But, I mean, to see these guys persevere against the best defenses in college football, I mean, it's quite a story to tell.
Yeah, I think it just says a lot about those kids and the work that they put in and the process they have to get ready. Because, offensive line, sure, it's 5 individual positions, but it's one collective unit. And I think that speaks to how their meeting room is ran. I think that speaks to the older leadership that is in the room. Someone that doesn't really get talked about anymore because he's hurt, but he's an unbelievable leader is Troy Everett. He's still in there and he's holding people accountable and he's talking with the younger guys and getting everyone on the same page, along with Fabechi and the guys who have been there and done that. But the coolest part is just seeing how they prepare, the process, and I mean, those young guys, man, they're ballers. They love football. They attack it the right way, and maybe they're naive, I don't know, but they're not scared of anything. All right, they're true freshmen going to play against some of the best defenses in the country, and they're not scared of anything. They go out there and they just play ball, and that's a lot of fun. And I'm just totally proud of that room, of that unit, and how they've been figuring out a way every single week.
It's tough to have freshmen out there, but to move from guard to tackle, then back to guard, it's a lot on those guys. Walk us through that final touchdown to Satania.
Yeah.
Where he goes ripping down the seam. They botch a coverage. And did you expect that? Was that something you guys had seen? Or, just walk us through what happened there.
Well, a couple times in the games, whenever we got to going, playing with a little bit more tempo, you could see there was a little bit of uneasiness maybe in the call or where somebody was getting lined up, and that happens a lot with tempo. But you take it reverse back 2 plays prior. I mean, called a good drive starter to Jaron. He did a great job winning on a one-on-one matchup, went from the boundary to the field and caught an option route and had some pretty good rack after it. Got us to a first down, and then we went right back to him, threw him an out route right there, made a guy miss, got some extra yardage, and so they're already kind of, not scrambling, but they're just kind of out of sorts a little bit, and then we called that tempo play right there. The safety screams over to the boundary side of the field, and whether it was a bust, somebody probably wasn't in the right position, but did a great job of seeing the safety rotation over there work into the field, and nobody was there on Isaiah, and I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, hey, he's open. Here we go. And ball came out of John's hands, and I mean, I don't even think after I saw Isaiah catch it, I don't even think I watched him run in the end zone. I think I was like, I think I was just like fist bumping somebody. And,
I like seeing Lake out there celebrating.
Yeah. Lake ran out in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Lake played football for a long time. Like he still gets the blood pressure up whenever something happens. So, but it was fun. Great execution, great protection on the play, and that's what it takes. Just a collective group. Make it happen.
If you thought it was loud after the Deion Burks touchdown, that was as loud as I've ever heard Owen Field. And I watched the background of that.
It's been like that a couple of times this year.
It has. It's really awesome to see. The cheerleaders, immediately start jumping up and down. I think I saw Bob Cunningham celebrating in the back of the end zone. He was jumping up and down. It was one of the coolest moments. But there's a part of this that I think we overlook. That wind was a factor. And John's got to throw he's wide open, but you got to put it on him in that wind. How challenging was that on Saturday? Because if you're heading in that north, if you were heading, north? Yeah. If you're heading towards that north end zone, Coach Arbuckle, that was a challenge sometimes with how that thing was gusting.
Yeah, for sure. And whenever you're in that stadium, I mean, sometimes it felt like it was going north, sometimes it was going south. It was like swirling in there. But, we had a few practices during the week where it was a little bit windy outside, and we knew that was going to be kind of an element that was going to be there. There wasn't going to be any running from it. And so John was confident in how he was throwing the ball and gave all of us confidence. And I thought the receivers were running great routes. So at the end of the day, you got to go out there and you got to make the throw regardless of what's going on. So kudos to those kids.
Yeah, you hit a couple of nice plays in the running game. Blaylock got through a couple of times. And how about the effort from those guys? Banged up. I mean, it feels like 2 or 3 times a game, Blaylock's coming out with that shoulder hanging down, and we know Xavier Robinson's been dealing with the knee stuff. Yeah. So how about the effort from those guys?
My favorite thing about those guys is, like you said, he comes out there and it's like, always finds a way to run back out there, though.
And then tries to run over the guy the next play, too.
Those 2 kids are selfless. They're great teammates, and they're tough as can be, and they run physical. They get behind their pads. Again, I just go back to they're such great teammates, and even though they're a little bit banged up, the other part of their game that doesn't waver at all is their pass protection.
It was great.
I mean, what an
really good.
A totally selfless part of the job is pass protecting, and they're always dialed in, locked into what their ID is, and they're physical at the point of attack whenever they block. And so, great teammates, great kids, really dang good football players, and players that I'm glad we have on our team.
And they persevere. Like you said, 100%. They've battled through a lot this year, haven't they?
No question.
It's really been fun to see. All right, our opening segment has been brought to you by Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law. Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorneys. All right, we're just getting started. Ben Arbuckle is in. We got your questions we're going to ask. We're going to talk about John Mateer and kind of his thoughts on what the playoff might look like coming up for Oklahoma. Stick around. At Sooner Sports Talk, we are live from Rudy's Country Store in Barbecue.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused.
Here comes a blitz. Quick throw inside. Burks has got room. 40, 35, 30. Hits a race. There goes Dion. They're not going to get it. Touchdown! Dion Burks' first touchdown since Michigan. And the Sooners are an extra point away from tying it up.
Do you know, we were talking about that play with Ben Arbuckle here live from Rudy's at Sooner Sports Talk, and I've just always got a kick out of watching Michael Fasusi run behind Dion. But you brought up the Jaren Kanak block on that play. That was sensational. I guess I never even really noticed it because I was so busy watching the offensive lineman not have anyone to block.
Yeah.
But Jaren Kanak made a heck of a play on that.
It was huge. I mean, it covered 0, and that was the only guy who was on Dion right there. And Dion did a great job of giving a hard step up, working back inside, kind of setting the block up for Jaren. And Jaren did a great job just having his body in the right position and getting the job done.
And I think it's fair to say we haven't seen a ton of wide receiver screens this year, or is it how big of a part of the playbook is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At least one a game, I would say. Probably at least one a game's been called. More times than not, they've gone to Isaiah. A few of them have gone to Dion. But, yeah, I mean.
It worked.
Yeah,
been there.
Kanak, that block has been great. I mean, it's a tough job, and I know we talked about it a lot through the offseason. He made the move over to the offensive side. Just maybe tell us a little bit about what you've seen from him, the growth, taking on that tough duty. I mean, it's a tough thing to do anyways, but whenever pretty much every week there's like a first-round NFL edge that you're having to block nonstop. I mean, there's some mutants out there.
No doubt. But Jaren, whenever he made the move, honestly, about a year ago today, or pretty dang close to a year ago, he put in the work immediately to be a really good player and earn the right to play. Everything from never leaving the office to being intentional at practice, taking everything Coach Finley would tell him about technique and applying it. And he's a great kid. He's a tough kid. He's a hard worker. And that's the cool thing, is seeing a kid just put in the work, put his head down in a whole new role, a whole new position, and go out there and thrive and gain the trust of coaches and players alike. And so Jaren put in the work, and he's been a lot of fun to have on our offense. And he has such a great skill set for the position, in certain different things. And he's just a great kid, great player, great athlete, and tough as nails.
It's kind of wild, isn't it? One of his first catches, he put the ball on the ground. I think got punched out from behind. But not only has he not, knock on wood, not only has he not fumbled, but he's had sticky hands. He hasn't had a lot of drops, if any. I mean, that's been wild to me, seeing that the guy hadn't played offense since, his high school days?
Yeah. Well, exactly. And that's part of the skill set that he has. He has really good hands. But my favorite thing about Jaren is he always seems to make the first guy miss. Every single time the ball's in his hands, just makes the first guy miss and seems to get a little bit extra whenever he gets hit. And those extra yards, those hidden yards, are so big for an offense and staying on schedule and moving the ball down the field. And Jaren's just been such a great tool, part of that for us this year. And again, he's a baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple, like the cut back to the field last week against Missouri over on the sideline. We just watched that one there. I think one of the real bright spots, obviously, I mean, he's like right around 950 yards receiving is Satania. And what he's done, it just feels like week after week, however it happens, there he is making a huge play whenever you guys have to have it.
No doubt. Isaiah's the model of consistency. The way that he attacks taking care of his body, the way he attacks prep for the opponent, the way he goes about practice and how smart he is during practice. But my favorite thing about Isaiah is the short-term memory he has. I mean, there's been multiple games this year where, maybe he fumbled a punt or he dropped a third down. Just in this game the other day, he dropped a third down. We ran a mesh concept, and he dropped it over there on their sideline. And then the rest of the game, didn't drop a ball, made big-time plays, was ready for the moment. So that's one of my favorite things about him is that he has such a short-term memory. He doesn't let one play beat him twice, and he goes out there and he's just a consistent player, a consistent human, and all the success that he's had, I mean, it's totally deserved. He's earned all of it, and he's a fun one to get to coach. He's a fun one to have on the field for sure.
I think sometimes he gets labeled as just a speedster. More than that, Coach, a little bit more of a complete receiver maybe than we give him credit for.
Yeah, he's got some savviness and some crafty route running to him, and he ain't the biggest guy in the world, but he ain't scared to throw it off in there and get a block or something.
He's fearless too. That seam route he caught, I mean, it's hard to explain to people how hard. It's easy to catch a football, but when you're not sure if you're going to get your knees taken out or take one to the mouth whenever safety's coming over, he's fearless.
You got to be fearless to be a punt returner, too. I mean, you're sitting there, the ball's 80 feet in the air, there's 83,000 people around, and you got dudes who are just trying to,
don't forget the
knock the
30
crap
mile
out of
an
you.
hour north wind.
Right. Dude is fearless. I think that's a great label to put on him right there. He's a fearless player.
And the English, that might be on the football now because punters are basically drop kicking it now.
They do some weird stuff, those specialists.
It's wild. All right, well, since we're on receivers and pass catchers, let's just go ahead and segue on to Deion Burks. What have you seen as the development of him so far this year? Got the big play on Saturday, but just great attitude guy, great vibes guy.
Unbelievable attitude guy. And my favorite thing about Deion was that touchdown he had the other day, and he came over to the sideline, and there's just some serious raw emotion from him. And it just shows me and tells me, man, this dude really cares. And he's been so good during practice the last 5-6 weeks of putting his head down, working, and just being a consistent teammate out there. And so he's extremely fast, has great twitch, has a lot of unbelievable athletic traits. But the growth that I've seen from him just on the mental side, especially over the last month and a half, 2 months of the season, it makes me really, really proud, and that's why I'm so fired up every time I see that play, because the raw emotion in that was awesome.
Well, Giovanni Gibson's another guy, and we all know back in the spring when he broke his leg, it's a long road back. It's tough. Finally gets back out there, and it just feels like little by little, week by week, he's gotten a little healthier, feeling a little more comfortable out there, and just a small, incrementally growing in what he brings to the offense. And feels like he's at his best every week because we're seeing him continue to grow.
Yeah, just what you said, just getting more comfortable back into being a receiver and being a guy out there. I mean, he had some huge third down catches the other day that were explosive plays across the middle on dig routes. I mean, there's one right there that was on a Y cross route. But just going up, making the tough catch. That one was a little high and away. He went up, got it, and then got some extra. A huge slant catch right there. I mean, because that's what he is. He's a big, strong, athletic kid with just bare paws to catch the ball. And so, but just seeing him get back out there, be more comfortable, and making these are fearless catches too, going across the middle. I mean, you play defense. Yeah. I mean, you're looking to murder somebody across the middle right there. And he goes through there, extends his body, makes the catch, and then gets a little bit of rack after it. I can't be more proud of that kid from where he was as soon as he broke his leg to where he is now. And just the road back to it, I think he learned a lot about himself. He grew a lot as a person and a player in those moments, and I'm just excited to watch him keep playing football.
I think this is a testament to those kids and for you guys, the coaching staff. I love the way the wide receivers block. I mean, they are always getting after it out on the edge, whether it's, a tunnel screen or something at the line of scrimmage or in the run game or convoying down the field. You can tell that it's a big coaching point, and those guys buy in big time.
No doubt. And we stress it a lot, and we work it a lot at practice, whether it's true perimeter blocking for your buddy catching a bubble route or knowing your role in the run game and getting a push crack up to the safety or digging out a halfway backer. They have taken a lot of pride in that. It's something that we have demanded a lot at practice, and they've owned it, and they've just gotten so much better at it.
Hey, before we grab our break, let's talk about the young guys. Elijah Thomas, Manny Choice, by the way, 21. If you guys have not seen him during warm-ups, holy smokes, he looks like he could go play linebacker. But what have you seen in the development of these two young guys?
I've just seen their confidence build so much more. Being a young guy, trying to come in, learn a system that's, I promise you, is probably totally different than what they did in high school, from verbiage to the detail of alignment, assignments, their splits, everything about it. Just seeing their confidence grow in that and allowing them to play more free and be the really good players that they are at practice. It shows up so much more, and I'm so excited for the future that those two have. But then, like a guy like E.T., I mean, he's been a core special teams guy for us all year. And he's like my favorite guy to watch, whether we're like on kickoff or punt or something, because that dude's just shot out of a cannon going down. And, I mean, he's insanely fast. He's shot out of a cannon going down there trying to make the play, and he gets fired up about it. And that gets me fired up as a coach whenever someone gets excited about special teams, because that means they love football. They love being a part of the team. But both of those kids, I'm so excited for their future, and just seeing where they were, because they showed up about in January, and seeing where they are now, I mean, just, leaps and bounds, more confident and better, and they're just going to keep getting better.
You are do you have one more you want to add?
No, I'll go take it to break.
Let's get a break, and then you can lead us off when we come back. Segment's been brought to you by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Ben Arbuckle's hanging with us. Sooner Sports Talk live from Rudy's.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club, presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality.
Mateer back to pass, three-man rush, fires one deep across the middle. It is caught! Satania caught it! Bounces off a tackler, and he's tackled at the LSU 37. Isaiah climbed the ladder.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk. You were talking about the complete receiver that Isaiah Satania has become. I mean, there's a great example of right there, just going right up in the middle to make a play. The segment's being brought to you by Riverwind Casino, official entertainment destination for OU Athletics. Now, typically here, Coach Buck, we take a look at the upcoming opponent, but we don't really know what the upcoming opponent is. Brought to you by One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan field, athlete focused. How are you handling then this week? How is the team handling this week? What's kind of the process?
Well, I think our upcoming opponents ourselves. How can we look at ourselves from a full season body of work? How can we continue to get better? How can we be really proactive and smart, our players, with their bodies, taking care of their bodies, whether that be in the weight room, maybe getting some weights back up, or just healing. I think that's our opponent this week, is more ourselves and focusing on ourselves. That way, whenever we do figure out what lies ahead next, we're ready to attack that in the best way possible.
Now, just maybe building on that, talking about kind of looking at yourselves a little bit, what maybe are some areas this year that ended up you guys were better at, or were bright spots that maybe you didn't predict, and maybe some areas where you thought you'd be better and you need some work?
Yeah, I think the first one and we've talked about it a little bit already in this, is the consistency of our offensive line and pass protection. And not that I didn't have faith in these guys, not that I don't believe in Coach Bedenbaugh, because they're all incredible. But, just the kind of new bodies that we had and a little bit of uncertainty maybe with some of the young guys, just seeing how they have been so consistent with a lot of different looks, a lot of different fronts, a lot of different things being presented to them. And, the players they're blocking are really talented. That's been such a bright spot, is just the consistency in that. I think one thing that we need to continue to get better at, and I think it'll be really big this week, is just looking how can we – I thought last game was a big step in the right direction. How can we continue to generate some explosive plays downfield in different ways, not just vertically down the field, but, like a screen, a run, a catch, knife, get vertical, and go pick up 15, 16 yards. How can we continue to find the best ways to put our players in position to go make those plays, to keep the offense on the field, keep them on schedule, and be more efficient just in those regards? And so I think, that is what this week we can continue to do a really big part in, and go forward and attack that.
Is it frustrating for you, Coach, when you had the explosive plays, this team did some good things, but it's the 3 turnovers just really kind of stand out more than maybe this team finding some opportunities in the big plays?
Yeah, I mean, any turnover is frustrating. It is football, though. It is going to happen. You want to try and limit those. Those are ultimately things that winning does not require. Winning requires not doing that, is not turning the ball over, not taking negative plays. But the thing that I loved about it from, let's talk about the interceptions from John or from the offense as a whole, was the response over and over and over again. There was never on the sideline, there was never any doubt, there was never any fear on anything. And so, yes, we've got to take care of those turnovers that showed up in this game. But I think what made me even more confident moving forward is, okay, our adversity response is really high. And whenever the moment mattered, the kids went out there and they did it. They went and made the plays happen. And so that was really encouraging.
Well, just watching some of these plays right here, the turnovers. That first one, seeing Mateer run down and knock that guy out of bounds, maybe didn't know it at the time, that you could call that the play of the game, right? And
it's huge. I mean, and it really happened on 2 of the 3, but that first one, and that's what I'm saying, you throw the interception there. I mean, it's really easy. You see it a lot where the quarterback's just like, dang. Yeah. Well, he turned on the jets and turned into a linebacker out there and sprinted down there, pushed him out of bounds. What happened? We got an interception the next play. Our defense stepped up, got the interception the next play, and then he threw one a little bit later in the game. And whenever you watch it, it might have been going to the house too, and he finds a way to shove the guy out of bounds. And so I've said it before about him. I think he's a football player before he's a quarterback, and that even right there was like, yeah, that dude's a football playing Jesse. So
yeah. By the way, we're 36 minutes into the show, and we really haven't talked a lot about John Mateer. Just take us through his moxie, and I think the one thing fans don't see is his leadership. I think behind the scenes, he's been an incredible leader, and the guys rally around him. What have you seen in his development so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. He is a leader. He's someone who has great relationships with everyone on the team, and they're not fabricated. They're real. They're authentic with every individual person on the team. And through his body of work throughout spring ball and fall camp and summer, just being a consistent guy who shows up, he works, he makes plays. That brings a lot of confidence to everyone. And so whenever something bad happens, it's so cool being a part of this team because everyone has each other's back. Whenever something bad happens, I literally hear Kip Lewis walk over there and hit him right in the chest and say, you got to go make the play right here. And, I mean, the look on John's face was, all right, here we go. And that was right before the start of the fourth quarter. And so John's leadership, he's a true leader. He goes and attacks. He's a true competitor. And kind of like with Isaiah, he responds. He has a short memory. because it's really easy after you've thrown some interceptions down the field. Maybe you get a little gun shy, and that didn't happen to him at all. And so just having the confidence and, like you said, the moxie to go back out there, play after play after play, and put it on the line, I think that says a lot about him and the young man that he is.
What would be some of the points that over this break that you're going to maybe work with him on, some areas of improvement maybe in his game?
Yeah, always looking to clean up footwork. I think that's big for any quarterback, but this is really a good time where we're not focusing on individual drills translating to a game right now for a specific opponent. It's more, okay, we get to worry about us. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be a big aspect of it, is just, continuing to clean up his footwork and breaking things back down to the basics, whether it's getting the ball out quick to your first read because it's right there, or moving on from a progression and getting the ball to the check down, or being in our run game checks. Hey, we're okay over here, but this run is a lot better if you get us to this right now. And so just, peeling it back to the basics and working on things that can make him a better quarterback. That way, you can be a better player for the team.
I am still one of those guys that thinks the best days of this offense are still in front of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, John, we know the thumb, we know the knee injury. It seems like he's now getting back to the point where he's 100%. Well, I don't know if anyone's 100% at this point of the season, but it seems like he's as healthy as he's been since the surgery.
He's feeling good. He's in a great headspace, and I agree with you. I think our best football is still ahead of us, and our kids believe that, and I know that for a fact with the way that they keep on showing up for practice and attacking it. And so I'm really excited to get that going.
We got one. This has flown by. We got one more segment with Coach Arbuckle. Stick around. You're live with us, Sooner Sports Talk from Rudy's with Ben Arbuckle.
Thank you to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. OU's 2025 football games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on these stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 30-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
Mateer to throw, looking right. Has time, deep across the middle, wide open behind the defense. Sategna all alone. Touchdown! Touchdown! Blown coverage. Isaiah Sategna, 58 yards. Sooner magic on a Saturday night.
That was something else, man. I still love Lake being out there. That's the best. This segment, by the way, is brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. We're sitting here, and I've been watching Hudson just rain terror. He's been a rock star over here. Your awesome wife, Lauren, is here. Coach, we're right around the 1-year mark.
We are.
Since you took this job. So
yeah, I think we showed up on December 3rd?
Yeah,
right around right? December 3rd, December 4th. So yeah, I mean we're
right there.
362 days in. So.
Lauren, are you liking it so far? All right, we get a thumbs up from Hudson. Are we good? All right. How have you enjoyed it? What's the process been like? Because it's a big move.
Yeah, it's been it was a big move, but I've loved everything about it. Just getting to be around these players and these coaches every day, just getting to be around a fan base. The thing that I appreciate the most is the passion is incredible, but the expectations is so real, and it's something that I appreciate more than anything, because you're not just doing it for yourself and your family and the players that you coach. You're doing it for an entire fan base that loves Oklahoma, wants to see them be the best, and that's something whenever you walk in the building every single day, it gives you a little extra pep in your step, like, okay, let's go, let's rock. We got a lot of people who care about what we do in this building. Let's go attack it. And it's been incredible. It's just been incredible. So everything about it, we've loved it.
Do you watch Landman whenever you want to see West Texas again?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, season 2's out. First 3 episodes are out right now, I think.
So I remember that rig. Yeah. I know that town. That's fun.
That's right.
Well, year-end SEC. What is how's it met up with your expectations of what you thought it would be, given the opponents and what some of these games were going to look like?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much exactly kind of what I expected it would be. Unbelievable coaches, unbelievable atmospheres, and unbelievable players. And, you know, I think everything that the SEC is everything that Oklahoma is. You expect greatness. Everyone in the SEC is so passionate about their team. The fan bases are so passionate, and I think it just parallels so great with what Oklahoma is too. And that's what makes it fun week in and week out. You go to an away game, and you're not going to a stadium that's 40% full, and the majority of it's your fans. You're going to a stadium that is full, and these guys are passionate, and the atmospheres are unbelievable, and it's just cool. But the talent, the coaching, everything about it is as real as it possibly gets.
I know you talked about this a while back, but I'm always infatuated and wanting to learn about the process. So for you, when you have a defense that has been as suffocating as Oklahoma's has been, how has that affected you or changed you as a play caller much in game?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily just changed who I am as a play caller, my philosophy and stuff, but, you know, sometimes in the past where it was, you know, where I was at like different schools and it was 3rd and 17, you know, maybe the old Ben was sitting and you're almost in field goal range. The old Ben's like, well, I'm going to try and go get the first down right here and I keep it going. But, you know, now it's 3rd and 17. We're at the 45-yard line, and our defense is so incredible. Hey, I'm going to go get Tate Sandell 9 more yards. If we break it and we get the first down, awesome. All right, but I'm going to go get 9 more yards right here because our guy's good from like 75 yards on a field goal, which is incredible. But, again, I don't think it's changed who I am, my philosophy on play calling. But whenever you have the defense you have and you have such a weapon in Tate Sandell, you know, you don't go broke taking a profit, and that's just kind of what runs through my mind a lot.
Smart.
So,
well,
yeah,
you can tell that it's always going to be passionate, and like in the SEC, I asked you about a minute ago, and I'm sitting here thinking, I think there's going to be 5 or 6 new head coaches at schools. It's crazy the turnover this year. I don't know. It's interesting, but on the other hand, it's like, what are we doing here? You know?
Shoot. How fortunate are we that we have Coach Venables? We're not one of those schools, one of those 5 or 6 schools.
Exactly.
How fortunate are we that we have a leader in place who cares as much as he does and holds this place and his coaches and his players to such a standard. I think we're really, really fortunate to not be one of those schools in those situations right now. So.
What's it been like to coach with him? Coach for him, I guess, too.
Oh, man, he makes me better every day because that dude brings it every single day and every single moment and every single minute. And it's like, all right, I'm going to match that guy's energy right now. And I'm not going to get out energized by you, Coach Venables. And but he brings it at all times. And it doesn't matter if we're in a staff meeting, if we're out at practice, if he's running stadiums. It doesn't matter what he's doing, it's 4th and 1 to that guy at all times, and he really cherishes every moment in the process that it takes to be great. And, you know, for someone like me, it's just so awesome to get to see every day from your leader, and it makes me hold myself to an even higher standard because I see that guy doing it every single day, and it feeds off into our players, our coaches, our front office staff, everyone just feeds off of it, and so it's so awesome to be around him every day.
Yeah,
awesome.
That defense has been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, I know we've spent obviously a lot of time on the offense. Like from your perspective in the game, and I know you guys are going through your stuff, and maybe you don't see a whole lot of it, but what's it been like being a part of that, watching those guys work, and then build off of some of the stuff that they've done?
Yeah. It's so fun to get to be a part of. One of my favorite things to do during the week is, you know, usually on Thursdays, whenever we get done with practice, everybody gets to go home. For about 30 to 45 minutes, I just go turn on their practice clips, and I'm just watching like, all right, what are we going to do to this guy this week? And most of the time I'm like, God almighty. Like, I feel bad for that O-line GA. I feel bad for that O-line coach. I feel bad for all of them. But I also do it because I like to see the effort and everything that they put in during practice. And, you know, everything that you see in the games is exactly how they are at practice. They don't just luck up and turn violent and physical and mean and nasty. And during the game, it's who they are. It's their persona. It's their MO, and it's just so cool to see every day and watch them attack it.
Great stuff. Thanks, Coach Arbuckle.
Appreciate y'all.
It's been awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
Boomer.
By the way, remember, for the best in real Texas barbecue, it's right here at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Ted and I will wrap it up next.
We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
Van Buren the snap, fakes the handoff, play action, under pressure, throws down, batted down, batted down, Peyton Bowen batted it down, and Newton unhitched the wagon, put the ponies in the barn. Next stop, college football playoff. They were on life support, but this team is hard to kill.
Wow. Teddy, we got less than a minute left. How great was Coach Arbuckle, man? I'm so he's going to be a rock star, man.
Yep.
It's great to have him here. And next week, Brandon Hall is going to be here with us, so we'll talk defense. But B. Hall will be talking a lot about that guy. What about the Bowen brothers down the stretch?
They've been great, unbelievable. I love it. I mean, Peyton Bowen makes maybe the two biggest plays of the game, and they were 3.5 hours apart. You know, it's and a lot of good stuff in between. He's on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And you could tell, like, once you make a couple of big plays and you start feeling it, the confidence is there, ball just finds you.
It's awesome. Great job tonight, buddy.
It's fun.
Hey, we're going to do a show again next Monday night, all right? Brandon Hall is going to be here. Then Brent Venables is going to be with us. The final Monday, our final segment here has been brought to you by your local Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic for Gabe and Josh and Teddy and Drake and Coach Arbuckle. I'm Chris Plank. We'll see you next Monday night. Until then, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue, and by Riverwind Casino, always a good time. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.